Self-compassion is one of the biggest goals of this podcast, to develop a stronger relationship with yourself, more confidence in what you're doing, et cetera, et cetera. Someone who I'm really inspired by, who has made some really big leaps in this regard, is Danny Miranda of the Danny Miranda podcast. Definitely going to get him on soon. Just really inspired by his story, and something that he said on a podcast interview a while ago was, I have compassion on that version of myself. For me, this is like the epitome of mastering understanding of like what was going on, like what you liked, what you didn't like, and then accepting and moving forward. And this is something that I've been doing recently myself, when it's like, okay, well, this version of Dallin doesn't have a job right now. Like I work at the thrift store, but that's not going to last very much longer. I have enjoyed working there, but it kind of is one of these things, is I need to move on and spread my wings and such. But I think this is a very important, sentence to be able to say, because it literally distinguishes you. You disconnect yourself from any of your previous struggles and stuff when you say, I have compassion on that version of myself. And it doesn't mean that you don't make all of the same mistakes again, but it means that you've learned and that you've grown from it. Compassion literally comes from the words to suffer with. And I think when we suffer with ourselves and we suffer with others, when we show that compassion, there comes a point where it's like, okay, we need to let ourselves move on. And I think that is the part of where you're not going to let yourself suffer any more than you need to. At some point, the suffering is going to lead to the transformation, right? There's going to be the change. So what Danny did was he started meditating a lot. He started his podcast, interviewing all of these super amazing people and just grinding, going so hard at just, I'm so amazed at how deeply he does his like interview prep. And that's something I need to do better at. But it just kind of blows my mind. It's like you can change how you see yourself. You can change up your whole identity. And it doesn't take a super long period of time. It just is going to take a kind of planned out process and then sticking to it. I mean, you think of like any cool character like Harry Potter or something, he follows a pattern of school and learns some things, and then he's in a better place, and slowly there's this character development. I think it's really scary in life when we feel like we're not making much character development. We feel like we are wasting time, wasting resources, wasting talents, wasting everything, and that's really frustrating. But I think Danny is a super good example of just spreading positivity, and positivity that's like really hitting. It's like personal positivity that is his story. It's his soul. So it's super powerful stuff. I mean, I've linked his stuff before, but I'll link it again, obviously. I want to get him on the show soon. He's super cool. I just feel like we'd have a good conversation, but he is somebody that has compassion with himself, and I really admire that. And that's something that I just had chills when I looked at my notes of different podcast episodes and thoughts and whatever else, because I've been trying to templatize my content more so it's more beneficial for you. It's less personal, like less me, I guess. I want it to be more about you. I really want to help you out with your journey, because the podcast got 200 downloads last week, and I'm like, I don't know any of these people, and I'd like to get to know you guys or help you out. So I'm learning a lot about the back end of that kind of things, how I can help you guys out more and reach out to more of you guys. And yeah, so that's really my thought. I guess this was a Dallin's Quick Thoughts episode. That wasn't really the intention, but there's just so much power in being able to say that. I mean, it is kind of an affirmation, but it's also like a statement. I have compassion on that version of myself. Until you can really say that and learn from those things, then there's just going to be little parts of it that are going to like kind of eat you up. I just have seen this with I mean, you see with people that build multiple businesses and they struggle at it, and it's just like sort of some of the same patterns repeat over and over. And same thing with like relationships, even sometimes. But when you're able to say, I have compassion on that version of myself, and I've learned and I've grown and I have changed, there's so much power with that. And I think the suffering part is so true because it's like, it's so real. Like in the moment, it's so real. It's so real, even though right now I don't really feel that. It's like the song Little Wonders from Meet the Robinsons. Like you will only remember just how it feels. And I think another part of this too that I'll share really quickly is that having the compassion on the version of yourself is saying like, the goals that I had, the things I was going after, they were great, but I have shifted, I have amended some things. And so now I'm going in this slightly different direction. And now you're going to just go gun ho towards that. Something that Danny did with 75 Hard, which is this intense routine program thing where you do a workout in the morning and in the evening. One, it has to be outside. You read like 10 pages every day. You drink like a gallon of water. You just do all this stuff. And he did that and he just completely changed from it. And, there's been some things I've been doing with my own life recently of writing every single day and things of that nature that I've really been enjoying my life a whole lot more. And I can say with confidence, I have compassion on all the previous past versions of Dallin, because his sleeping routine wasn't that great, or maybe he wasn't as great with talking with people, or maybe he just didn't understand some things as well. And so he made mistakes. And it's like, well, shoot, I've already suffered enough for those things. Why should I suffer more? Why should I get upset with him? There's no point. There's a real sense of like self mastery that really shows when you're able to say that. And it doesn't mean you have conquered everything or you've mastered everything, but it means that you're not letting those things hold you back anymore. I think this is something that I've really just struggled with, but I've been really giving thanks a lot more and giving myself a lot more credit because it's like, hey, well, all of this has led to what you're doing now. And I feel pretty good about what I'm doing right now. Like I have a newsletter and I'll talk more about this in the newsletter this week. You can check it out in the link. It's just dallincandland.substack.com. I might move over to ConvertKit soon. I'm just trying to figure out stuff. I really want to make this more of a viable thing, where I'm reaching more people, helping more people, creating products and stuff. I mean, that'd be sick. It doesn't even have to make a ton of money just to help people, dude. Like I would rather help a ton of people, I just would love that. Love to get to know you guys more, but I need to better understand what would work. I tried the Discord server. That hasn't really worked super well, but it's been fun. It's fun to try out stuff. And I have compassion on the previous version of myself, There's just been a lot of little thoughts I've been learning and things that are standing out. And it just is blowing my mind. So I'm really thankful for Danny's example. I'm thankful for all the other people's example who's helped me to keep moving forward, to help me to have compassion, to suffer with myself as needed and with others, and to help me grow and become better. So yeah, that's basically all I can say. There's so much power in that one sentence. I have compassion on that version of myself. So I hope that you are able to say that, to recognize what you are working towards, what you want, and to do that. And I appreciate your patience. I was not planning on doing an episode like this, but here we are. I'm thankful for your support. Check out the newsletter. I'd love to hear your feedback. With that, also, thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to heal today. It'll be a better tomorrow.